Most people think of trauma as something extreme, like war or abuse, some kind of disaster. But trauma is not just the obvious. It's entirely possible to be deeply affected by things and not even realize it. Have you ever caught yourself engaging in unhealthy behavior, lying to yourself or others, having to numb your emotions, or even reacting to things in ways that don't even make sense to you? Have you ever felt like your reactions or your choices and even your emotions were dictated by something outside of you rather than arising naturally from within? If so, it's worth considering. What if you've been traumatized without even knowing it? Trauma is not just about what happens to us, it's about what happens inside of us as a result. It's any experience that we're forced to endure that does not align with what is true, with what's real, and what's loving. It's the moments where reality itself just seems wrong, when we're made to accept something that should never be accepted. Trauma is the distortion of truth imposed upon the mind, the force that pulls us away from what is into something that should not be. As children, we are naturally aligned with reality. We don't question love, we expect it. We don't doubt truth, we live in it. But when we experience a world that does not reflect love and truth back to us, we are forced to adapt. We must endure what should never be endured, accept what should never be accepted. And in that moment, a split happens. The world no longer feels safe, and we begin to construct an illusion just to survive. This is why trauma is not always remembered as a single event. It can be the slow erosion of trust, the constant tension of not feeling seen, the quiet moments where we learn that our feelings don't matter. It's anything that forces us to abandon reality in favor of an illusion. Anything that teaches us that love and truth are not guaranteed. And once we have learned that lesson, it shapes everything. So, if you've ever felt disconnected, if you've ever struggled to understand why certain emotions follow you no matter how much you try to move on, consider this. Perhaps it's not you that's broken. Perhaps you're still carrying the effects of unseen trauma, ones that you were never meant to bear.